Hello, welcome back. We're going to be going into map 2. It's Nordavind on the CT side of their own map choice. And now we get to see how tough forZe really are. They took the map of Inferno in a close fashion. Sure, the scoreline was a little bit further in their favor, but we sat at 11-11 at one point, and it really could have gone either way. Now we get to see whether or not the CIS roster has what it takes to take it in 2. Otherwise, we'll be heading to what map, Alex?
Nuke. It says it on the screen this time. Underneath the map. So
Okay, well, if I cover that up, what is it now?
Quick B aggression. Flit is there with the opening kill. This is not a great map for forZe stats-wise, but doesn't mean they can't win this one. And HS is there on the flank. Oh, almazer's behind it, but HS is ready for this. Oh, he eventually gets the headshot, but Jerry's there to pick up the pieces and bring it back to a 2 versus 3. Still plenty of time left for forZe, and Flit is pushing up through A long right now, and if he gets the timing right, HAVU might be caught here.
He did start walking in time that Flit probably hasn't heard him, and already holding onto the cross. Time is going to be everything. Now Harry just hold. I like the pixel angle. He's actually not holding wide, so the chance of hitting his head is a lot slimmer. But they are going to be able to rotate this bomb through. Now clearly, Jerry's going to be a little bit wary about crossing towards this site, worried about players maybe flanking him from behind, but for now, it's just patient play. One player around the stairs, the other still sat in bank, and of course the rotation needing to come in from NaToSaphiX. However, they are going to be able to fall back and take some afterplant positions. Now, Flit may not have the range with the Glock, but a USP has been retrieved for Jerry, and there isn't any real utility remaining for this CT side. They do, however, have a kit, so they could just take a risk, get Harry defusing, and maybe just try and bait in these players. Nice shot from tenzki. That might be all they need, as now Flit is just going to have to try and shoot through these remaining players, and he does actually get the kill. It doesn't matter, though, because the kit was instantly retrieved by NATO, and they will get themselves the pistol.
Yeah, that came kind of close there with the spam landing onto the man who was defusing. But unfortunately for Flit, he can't get all the kills he needed. The upside is, with the bomb plant and with all those kills from Flit, he's definitely buying an AK into this one. And the entire team will be forcing into this round. forZe heavy favorites now, according to Unicorn, over on the odds. And they have the chance to try and reset Nordavind's money early here on Overpass. Only the one AK bought by them, but some Galils in there, some nades as well. And it's not like Nordavind's buy is much better than theirs. So definitely anyone's round here. NaToSaphiX is snuck into a good position, though. Behind the fountain, he gets the first kill. He's got to be careful of the flank, though, and Flit arrives from the backside. Flit gets a second, but he's not ready for HS to be in position. And facecrack is left alone, trying to make something happen on B. He gets that first man, but he takes damage in the process, and he doesn't even have the bomb.
Yeah, this is a problem, especially because HS is about to come across it, so this pretty much gives up the round. I don't really see a way that he's going to be able to get back into this, and he's almost going to have to just expect HS to be waiting around this corner, which, to be honest, at this stage he should. You can see facecrack already checking a lot of these angles, but realistically HS has an HP advantage, a weaponry advantage, even has a teammate rotating in as well, which is just going to make things a little bit tougher. Nice shot from the first, but there is cromen just in the nick of time to convert this round. A bit close for comfort, in all honesty, but without a bomb plant, forZe can't really afford to go for another buy here.
Well, they can't afford it, Tom, but that's not going to stop them. They're going for the full investment. Pistols bought on most players. facecrack gets a Mach 10. Yeah, this isn't a buy I would have advised them to go for. It's a big risk, but the obvious upside is if they can win this one, then Nordavind would be down to a very poor position in terms of their money. Even in this very round, they've got 3 MP9s in the mix, and forZe trying up the pace over on B. Oh, that was a boost attempt from Nordavind, but they get the kills before that's required. NaToSaphiX and cromen both chiming in. xsepower spamming away, and he gets 2 kills back with the dig, so it's into a 3v3. Nordavind have fully rotated down to this B site, though.
Yeah, this is very much possible now. And obviously not a round they should even come close to win, but they did invest quite a lot into this, considering that they already lost the force by once. Even still, though, it's looking like we might have the same results. xsepower low. Nice work from one. The nade actually doesn't land anywhere near where it was supposed to. And HS should have the timing correct here to at least catch one. Never mind. Flit turns around. The spam through, if he waits patiently, will be able to cross. And now it's all down to cromen. Once again, this time not 1v1, but 1v2. He's trying not to fall for the bait, but the fact is there was no bait. There was no bamboozle, or maybe there was. There's some doubt in the minds of the T's, and this could be perfect. There's a push still coming in. I don't know why they're splitting up.
Why?
That seems like the worst idea possible.
Okay.
Instead, they're going back to fake again. So they were like, we didn't bamboozle him enough, so let's throw in an extra bamboozle with that smoke, and now go A anyway.
Yeah, for a second there I was very scared that forZe were going to do something which could have costed them the round. If they'd have actually split up like that, that's a surefire way to give cromen a chance to win it. But now they get the bomb down. cromen has to rotate all the way through connector and clear out all these angles. Flit is currently in the long bathrooms as well, and I think he's heard those steps. cromen will start to try and sneak through bathrooms, but Flit's got this flank going. xsepower's sitting on the other side. This is so well done by forZe. I don't think cromen has any chance here. He's about to move on towards the bomb, but Flit's about to be able to peek the position, realizes he's not on it. Bit of damage done by Flit. Nice shot from cromen, but he's low on health, and xsepower is about to arrive at the back of the site. Triple kill from him, and a 4-spy win for forZe that puts Nordavind right back down to a really bad economic situation. So fair play to forZe. The 4-spy paid off for them.
Decent position, and it was risky for sure, but they have managed to put themselves in a spot where they now come out with the better buy. Looks like we have got a pause taken, maybe making a decision of what they'll actually invest into this round. I wouldn't necessarily mind NATO having a scout in this scenario just to try and tag down some of these remaining players. It's been a very good start again for Flit. I'm glad to see him back. I'll be honest, that poor performance, I think that was versus Nemiga, right?
Yeah.
Was one that was severely underwhelming. Like, he never really got into the match, and that made me quite sad, because he's someone who has said, like, it seems like he's recently finished his studies. I know that he was taking one of his exams during the Clutch Island qualifier, which really didn't go too well for him. I imagine there was a fair amount of stress going on while trying to play RMR qualifiers and trying to study. NATO has made an interesting decision. So I mentioned the Scout as a potential purchase. Instead, he's gone for the Nova, which, well...
It's a weapon.
Yeah, I think I've been casting now maybe 5 years-ish. I don't remember many, if any, particularly good Nova plays. So, there's going to be one for the ages if he does make it work. And Jerry, well, it looks like he's back in form as well. A very quiet last map, but his team got it over the line. The Nova coming into play. NATO looking to get in on the flank. One of the most exciting plays of his generation. And moving on.
Yeah, that's going to be a round to forget for Nordavind. I was hoping we'd see something from the Nova, but didn't even get the chance to use it.
It's also the same as your rank, right?
Nice meme, dude. Nice meme. In case anyone's wondering, I am supreme. I feel the need to say that.
Supremely bad, I agree.
Supremely bad. 5 USPs now for Nordavind. I don't think you need a caster to tell you that they're very unlikely to win this round, but I'll tell you it anyway. And the mid-rush is not the right call, unfortunately. Basically just got to guess in this sort of round. Nordavind guessed wrong, but maybe they'll be able to do something on the flank. Depends if forZe hear these steps. As Nordavind keep on going. xsepower definitely hears them now.
Okay,
Whoa.
then. This is getting a little bit spicy. Flit looking to pad those stats a little bit further. And, well, here's the money maker, the money shot even, from Jerry, as he farms up some extra cash. Probably makes up for the fact that they did lose 3 players. And for a moment, Alex thought that he had the power of the perfect counter curse.
Yeah, I was getting excited for a second there. But no round win that time with the 5 USPs. I'm trying to think if I've ever casted. I must have casted one round.
There's your prize pool.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted it to hit pi, and there you go.
Yeah, it's not as exciting as I thought it would be, to be honest. So, xsepower has got aggressive with the AWP. I say got aggressive, he's just got a player peeking him over at Monster, but he's landed the shot. Nordavind's been trying to play aggressive on short. That's so much damage onto tenzki. Harry's also down to 6 health. So 2 players on this B site really struggling, really worse for wear right now. And forZe have a player pushing up through A long. Jerry will be on the flank this entire time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he flanks into B from heaven. And if Jerry does that, I think he should win the round by himself, because that should guarantee him 2 kills.
Yeah, the only worry would be if they try and go back to join him, because he would have the A site. And that could push them right into NATO's hands. But it does seem like they're just patiently waiting for their in-game leader to be the impact player. Still spamming, of course, trying to make some noise.
Heaven,
a big distraction. But HS, as you said, is well aware. Jerry wasn't expecting anybody to be watching that, and tenzki's actually going to go for the push. He's so low, but he wins the battle anyway. And now things become quite awkward. As there's so much of a stack on this B site, they have to go rotating back in the other direction, but the time could get the better of them. 30 seconds left on the clock as they go running the gauntlet. NATO's going to be there through middle, and he might be able to deny this push. A first kill comes up. That's the bomb on the deck. He doesn't connect the second, however, but his team at least know that they are going to be pushing back around towards this A site. In fact, they'll have a man on spot, ready and waiting. It needs to be some clinical shots, and almazer does just that. What a superb couple of kills that have come up from him. He has single-handedly won them around again.
Yeah, that could have gone wrong in a number of ways there for forZe. But some great shots landing from almazer. Make sure that they don't end up losing. I think that must have been a frustrating round from Jerry, because I'm sure he was just calling to his teammates, just wait guys, I've got the flank. There's no way they expect it. But because of the way Nordavind were playing, because NaToSaphiX was actually looking down connector instead of up towards short, they knew that that A side of the map was very, very open. So they made sure to watch for Jerry. Still though, a good response from forZe, because under time pressure there, they had to just stick together. They had to make sure they pushed as a pack and that they got some good kills. They got some quick shots. And they did just that. Under the time pressure, it's always difficult to do that, but some good shots landing, helped them out, helped them onto the bomb site. And even though Nordavind arrived on A, it wasn't enough for them. The difference could have been made if Nordavind had some nades. Then maybe they could have denied the bomb plant with utility alone, but doesn't happen for them. forZe have got themselves into a 4-2 lead, and it's a strong start for them here on Overpass. Positive signs from the CIS side.
This force buy is not a particularly good one. It is workable, but again, we're going to see this aggression coming up from NATO to try and just section off middle. They almost have this 3-pronged defense. One watching into the connector, the other trying to stop any further aggression. Tag actually connected as well. That NATO can continue to make these aggressive pushes. The nade will drop onto facecrack. They're definitely doing a lot with what they currently have. The T's, though, more than happy to just delay, play the time, maybe wait for some of this extra utility to be diminished. And eventually they are going to make their way further towards this A site once more.
Flash goes over the top. NaToSaphiX blinded briefly. Allows the AWP to post up on the angle, but xsepower's got to be careful fighting up against the scout, considering he's already taken damage. That spray from almazer was almost on point. Does a bit of damage, and the nades will continue to chip away at tenzki, who's been taken down to 37 health. Time is ticking here. 28 seconds for forZe. This will have to be another clean take against 3 CTs, but one of those CTs has been dealt with. tenzki the first to fall. Now Jerry moves in, gets the man from behind, and even though NaToSaphiX has landed one shot, I think it's too little too late here. Cromen just wiped out of the round, and Nordavind will not be winning this one.
Yeah, almazer seems to be so good at just not necessarily getting the most kills, but getting the most important kills. Like, it's always when there's like a chance to deny the bomb. I'm still just almost like in awe of how well he managed to do in the last round with the 2 kills that he got. Because those 2 kills are, one, denying NATO holding onto the bomb, and then The second one was denying anybody from actually denying the bomb from going down. So just very impressive stuff from him in general. And even there was only 15 seconds on the clock. He made sure nobody could get on towards the bomb planter, which is exactly what he should be doing. It's just much more difficult to do it in practice. 5-2. Flit looking to hunt down this remaining man. Now, he does fall, but ultimately it's not the biggest deal in the world because the gun wasn't actually retrieved. That's where it would have been a little bit more of a problem.
Yeah, it just gives Hara a bit of extra money. Doesn't mean he gets to save the AK. And Hara's just going to keep that extra cash he got. He's already got nades, he's already got an MP9. He won't go investing, so I assume he's saving money to drop the AWP for NaToSaphiX into the future. Pistols for most of the Nordavind players in this round. Hara's nade could do quite a lot of damage here if it's well timed. And there we go, he spots them out, flops the nade over the top, does a fair bit of damage. And there are players here on the B site ready to fight these close quarters battles. Trade comes through early, xsepower gets one with the Molotov, and forZe are not fully committing to this. They decide to back away.
NATO this time is not going to make the mistakes that his teammate did in the past when flanking. Just wants to wait. Maybe put some doubt into the mind of the forZe players. And with a couple of people being on this B site already for his team, I think utilizing the boost, there is still potential that he could catch them attempting to rotate, especially with almazer now sneaking his way into the site. He's got to be careful. He's going to walk into the open. tenzki spots him, but that's the clean kill he needed. And now they catch NATO in the back as well. This is perfect. almazer just looking to try and clean up these remaining players. I don't think he's going to be able to see anything over the top of the wall. So HS's position is yet to be compromised. However, there's that clinical shot we were looking for. And the T's, they're running out of time. If they are going to make a run the gauntlet all the way back to the A site, they have to do it right now, and that does seem to be the plan. However, there comes the kill, and that's the bomb dropped. Now the clock becomes the extra member of this Nordavind side, as HS is looking to try and do this all on his own. Gets the peek out, bomb dropped again. There's only 10 seconds left as they peek one by one. It's all too easy for the Estonian to clean this up, and he will end this round with a 4K. A half buy, a couple of weapons held, and it's enough for HS to take it through.
Yeah, excellent aim from HS, excellent shots as the round went on. The boost was nice to get him that kill in the first place, but I feel as though forZe there, once it gets down to the 2v2 especially, Jerry probably should just not go for the flashbang. I think at that point, he's better off if he just pushes with his teammate, because the flash was never going to make a massive difference. Even if it blinded someone, HS would probably be in a position where he could try and help deny the bomb plant. I think you really need Jerry to just be there to try and help take the site, to try and quickly trade, to try and quickly clear some positions. But unfortunately, because he threw the flashbang, it just meant he was a few seconds behind his teammate. He was a bit delayed. And just in general, forZe really running down the clock in that round, even though they had some information. I'm not sure they needed to have almazer make that solo push as well. He decided to solo push towards A, which was already a risk that they could have lost another AK. That was the big problem, though, losing the bomb in that position completely threw the round into disarray. And then you see, HS can turn it into 2 1v1s because Jerry decided to try and line up a flashbang, which didn't end up having any impact because he just bounced it off the wall. So HS could hear the flash, could wait for it to pop, could then peek after. Unfortunately for forZe, that cost them the round, but Nordavind will take that all day long, bringing it back to a 5-3 scoreline. And they'll be looking to keep that momentum into this next round.
Finally seeing some decent finances from them. Of course, 5 rounds for forZe, it's not bad. I think they're going to be hoping for a fair bit more, especially with how they've started out in this game. But it's only going to get tougher from this point onwards. The AWP into the hands of the Dane. Well, they've even retrieved a couple of AKs to boost up their chances in this round. Flit, though, I'm not even sure I want to see what he just did. It seems disgusting. Just sprayed down 2 players, down to 1 HP. But he's going to now make the run towards Monster. HS tries to do the same in return, but he's making a hell of a lot of noise, and with the wraparound coming in, he's got to be careful. Flit low on HP, this should be an easy duel, but the timing, oh, it just about works out for him. Smoke gonna fall, a second for HS. He now returns the same way that Flit did, and he even has support to try and deny them any further presence. Of course, retrieving that bomb seems impossible. I don't even think the CT side actually know it's there, which makes things even more surprising. Molotov going to try and force tenzki out of position, and it will succeed, but the T's don't have a choice. Again, 20 seconds left. It has to be the push into the site. The time has become an issue multiple rounds in a row. Nice shot from HS. He's been so good over the last couple of rounds. He'll finally fall, but it might be too little too late. This has to be an insta kill. He's actually done it with enough time. And NATO, he's going to nade him. That's so clinical. The positioning of that grenade couldn't have been better. And why not, of course.
I didn't even know that was a spray that you could do.
Most people put like easy or welcome to the clutch. NATO puts fart, of course.
Ah, nice nade at the end, though. Made sure to bounce it off the pillar at the right angle, which can be surprisingly difficult to do at times. I've got to say as well that you can see, I think, forZe's awkward nature on this T side of Overpass. It's not a map they're too familiar with. Their coordination and their timings just seem off in a lot of these rounds. And that really does go to show in the stats as well. You look at forZe's stats on Overpass. On their CT side, they win 52% of the rounds. So that's pretty good, actually. That's not bad for them. On their T side, they have a 31% win rate on Overpass, which is pretty poor. And I think that means as long as forZe get maybe 7 rounds, 6 or 7 rounds, they can actually be in an okay position to try and compete, to try and fight for this map and to fight for this 2-0. So all in all, I think just forZe getting off to a good start puts them in a position where maybe they could have a chance here, because they don't often do too well on this T side of this map.
Look at Alex trying to use statistics and logic to work out a game of Counter-Strike.
Watch them win this half 11-4 now.
More fool to him. I appreciate the effort. We'll see. We'll see. We'll never know if you're right, because we'll probably have forgotten by the time the match actually ends.
True.
But either way, we have a full buy-in once again for both sides. Although, well, actually, Harry's got an SMG. It seems to be something he's more than willing to use. And they're actually going to take control of long without really any resistance. But that's actually fairly common. Teams won't really necessarily play that position too much in a map. It does allow them to clear some more aggressive positions, but you can see NATO just watching the angle. This would be a risky peek without any sort of flashbang. I'm hoping Jerry's going to throw one over the top. Otherwise, I think this is going to be a very easy kill. And yeah, I won't lie, that's a little bit of a disappointing play for them to just walk into that sort of angle without any utility used whatsoever.
It is a bit of a cheeky angle from NATO. I kind of like it in the sense that xsepower was going for the initial peek with the AWP, and he saw that the more common angles weren't cleared. So then Jerry thinks he's probably safe. He assumes that there's probably not an AWP on that other side. So I kind of like it in that sense from NATO. It's a little bit just annoying for the T's to deal with, because you're not really going to have your AWPer peek out just to clear that specific angle. So I kind of like it. 18 seconds left. forZe really need to figure out the clock here. This is... I don't even know if they have time, man. I don't know if they have time. This is so slow from them. NaToSaphiX lands another shot, and this slowdown might be all they need. HS is waiting. 4 seconds. There's no time. It's over. forZe continue to run the clock down, and, well, xsepower at least lands the shot at the end to ensure he can save the AWP. But this is indicative of some real issues here on the T side for forZe. They have only had one note on their T side, and that note has been slow rounds, and that time it was too slow.
Yeah, and there's been a couple like that that have made me fairly uncomfortable. It's like an old Na'Vi style of play, or even go further, you could say like the Fnatic style of play. And the funny thing is, I still remember Pronax when he went to Godsend trying to run similar rounds, but without having Olofmeister to kill everyone. It definitely didn't work anywhere near as well. It's like, okay, we got 8 seconds on the clock. It's time for Olof to get to... Wait, where's Olof?
Oh, no.
Oh, God, I forgot I'm not in Fnatic anymore. But yeah, it's rough. And that's basically what I'm trying to point out, is that when it comes to those late rounds, you're super reliant on your entry fragger to just be a star. And
Almazer's done it in a couple of
He
rounds.
He has, to be fair, but it's not consistent enough. Like, if you're basically saying to one of your players, you have to get 2 entries here, otherwise we lose, that's unreasonable. And that probably means you need to try and switch things up a little bit. And I'd quite like to see them change the pace. They are going to go flashing through the smoke, risky, but what is that from facecrack? 2 headshots, but tenzki has found some in return. Nice shot from xsepower, flit over the top, and now it's left onto NATO. The bomb going to be planted. He knows roughly where he is. The spam through actually gets the kill, and the missed shot from xsepower is going to give him an angle. He goes for a second, but can't quite connect. Does he know exactly where he is? He missed again! Oh dear. NATO's been gifted that one. It's going to be a 6th on the board, a streak of rounds coming up now for the side of Nordavind. And while forZe have got to be kicking themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about forZe on this map, but it just feels like their individuals in general just don't seem to have the same level of composure in some of these rounds. And the calls, obviously, have been somewhat trying at times. I think that was a good decision to switch it up and go for the faster B push, and you saw it work with the flash and the basic play with facecrack getting 2 entry kills with the Tech 9. He'll be a bit frustrated with that round, because when he gets 2 entries like that onto B, that should be the difference. xsepower probably should have won that clutch, but I'm not sure if he kind of lost track of where the bomb was planted or what, but whatever happened for him, he ended up losing out. And that puts Nordavind into the lead for the first time in a while here on the CT side of Overpass. Again, Flit had a fantastic start to the game. He's still looking pretty good, but he's slowed down slightly. Up there at 14 for 9, and NaToSaphiX has just continued to have impact as these rounds have gone on. Even if that clutch was made a little easier for him, he still had to land the shots. And now NATO is even going for an aggressive peek into mid, and this is an angle you might not expect.
Yeah, it seems like they might be aware of his shenanigans. In fact, it looks like they might try and shut him down through the connector. I think the reason that nade was whiffed a little bit is because there might be a small amount of panic in his reasoning for moving back. Nice shot at least onto almazer, who has been one of the danger men for the forZe side.
What is that smoke?
Continue their push forward. Smoke allowing one of the CTs back onto the site. If anything, might have helped xsepower cross, but HS over the top is going to net another kill.
That was Jerry's smoke he's just run through. So yeah, fluffed that slightly.
We move on.
Yeah, we move on. Oh, I'm not sure I like this angle with the MP9 from Hara. It's pretty difficult to land a double dink from this sort of position. He's very much alone here as well. Now he's blind, facecrack. Oh, he just doesn't clear it. Like, what? Oh my god, he's going to get away with it as well. Hara finally traded out, but it's all on Jerry. He's low on health. There's no nade this time for NaToSaphiX, but he might just use his gun to deny the plant in the open. Jesus, Jerry, that was risky.
I think what he was expecting is that he'd be behind the sandbag, but because of the way he was looking, the guy leans forward to plant the bomb.
Yeah.
And then just puts, oh, this is not what I meant to do. Yeah, a few errors now starting to come up for forZe. Maybe a map that they really aren't that comfortable on, because it's seeming like the stars are shining for Nordavind, and forZe slowly falling back out of this one. 7-5. They were in an advantageous position not too long ago. It's been one hell of a streak of rounds, and looking like we might have this pace change once again as the pressure about to come in. HS actually cooks the first member, but again, these faster plays seem to work out. However, they've struggled to kill this man off. 17 kills. He's looking for a little bit more, but he's running out of bullets. And, well, the Tech 9, oh, that's dirty. The nade lands perfectly. The shot does as well. Bit ambitious. He will make the drop, and that's mainly why he shot, to cover his drop into the site, already killing off another member of this forZe side. And Flit doesn't look long for this wall, but he's going to go on that run back again.
Yeah, Flint's been playing pretty well so far in this game as well, so I wouldn't count him out of winning this clutch, even if he is low on health. The bomb plant should be inevitable. The problem is, oh, he's actually not going to go for it instantly. Now this could become an issue, because the CTs have rotated up. I'm not sure what the game plan is here for Flit at this point. I guess go for the fight initially, then maybe try and plant the bomb, but both CTs are pretty close by. And this feels like a position where he's really running the risk of being caught by the CTs just holding safe angles. Now Flit might get the drop, but no. tenzki was waiting in the corner the entire time. Unfortunately for Flit, he has no way of winning that clutch. And again for Nordavind, HS is just continuing his success. Great to see him having so much impact alongside NaToSaphiX. Even if it didn't get them the win on Inferno, it's looking much better for them here on Overpass. And into round 14, I still think forZe probably need 1 or 2 more rounds at the end of this half, just to make sure they're in a decent position into the next one. So let's see if they can get that on the board with this buy right here. xsepower sneaking through that molly. Look at the aggression from Nordavind, though, right through mid. Plenty of players here, and xsepower has to be ready for this. tenzki gets flashed in. xsepower somehow times it just right. HS will be furious with that, but this time xsepower misses the shot when he can see his opponent. So it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Needed to be blind.
Apparently. But he's pretty open, though.
Almazer's got a tough task ahead of him to try and hold off these rotations. He's running out of bullets, and eventually Harry, with that trusty MP9, is going to be there. A chance, at least, for the round. Cromen, he spotted so much info, but he doesn't connect the shots, and facecrack might be in the prime position to save his team. A first kill comes up. The spray from Flit is so clean. 3 kills for him again. He's got 18 to his name, and after what was a 6-round streak for Nordavind, finally forZe put another one on the board. And actually, you can see how close these rounds really have been. Because for 6 rounds in a row, you'd be thinking, Tom, oh, it don't matter. They got about 10K each. They're all just, they're almost flexing on us. They're walking around rather than using a phone. They're using $100 bills.
What?
You know when they like hold up the... You not seen that GIF?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
It's one that's commonly used by people on Twitter. There's like some dude holding up a big stack of money to his ear.
Maybe I have seen that.
Yeah. But basically, that's not the case.
No.
In fact, they don't have much money at all. Like me.
Yeah, they got, what, $200 left between them?
Spent it all on crisps.
Spent it all on crisps. Flip, this time caught in the back. 19 kills for him at the half, though. He's definitely been putting in a shift for forZe. Still got one of the big hitters alive for Nordavind, though. HS is topping the charts for them. He only has a 5-7 right now, though. And look at the timing of this push over on A. Jerry's about to push up through A long as Nordavind move into the bathrooms. I think this probably favors forZe here, especially as the bomb is also going over to A long. almazer might be the man who bears the brunt of the cost of this, though, with the players pushed into bathrooms. But it looks like he is ready. tenzki caught in the back. And even though HS is behind the opponents, it's Hara who has to try and hold the site. Good kill onto the first man, but facecrack's there to trade it out. And even though HS finally strikes from behind, the bomb will be planted. Molotov is just going to be run through by HS, and that will not work out for him. forZe getting 7 rounds at the half, and I think they can count themselves in this game still. Even though there was a big streak there for Nordavind, forZe have kept it close enough where they can definitely put up a fight here into this CT side.
Yeah, for sure. Those last couple of rounds, I feel, make a big difference. Because if this ends as a 10-5 when you're winning 5-2, you're going to be pretty demoralized. It's definitely not going to be one of those games where you're feeling confident going into the second half. Instead, an 8-7, that's really not bad at all. Like, I would say that's a decent T side, to say the least. And now, going into their CT pistol, if they can take that over the line, that's where things get interesting. The only worry for me is watching them play this map prior. I know for a fact that Jerry likes to switch things up quite regularly. And a lot of the time, that means sometimes players don't seem to get like accustomed to a position because they're constantly swapping. Like, you might have confidence playing specific angles, but they're never really given the chance. The other thing as well is sometimes you see xsepower's AWP in really unorthodox position. For example, I've seen him AWP from the barrels on B, which is weird. Like, it just seems like the worst position you could ever put an AWP. But maybe that was his choice and not necessarily something to do with Jerry. They're going to have a fast play onto the site. almazer is screwed. He is so blind. That flashbang has wrecked absolutely everybody. NATO with at least 3 flash assists there, or effective flashbangs. And while the remaining 2 players might want to just save their Kevlar.
Well, NATO will take those all day long. One player doesn't even look at him. Second fight wasn't too difficult either. Nordavind winning that pistol round. Puts them in a pretty good spot here, considering forZe have probably got to force into this round, and that is the call that's been made. xsepower picks up a scout. I've seen xsepower have some pretty good rounds with the scout. I wouldn't say he's like the best scout player in the world or anything, but he's definitely capable with it.
Who is?
I don't know, maybe Searson's up there. Searson's pretty damn good with it.
Simple?
I haven't seen Simple scout as much as I might have thought I would.
Oh, his trained scouting is disgusting.
Filthy. Oh, speaking of filthy, facecrack lands a great shot at the start of this one. No AWP on barrels this time. It's the dig of facecrack, which is working nicely. And Nordavind have been slowed down here by that counter utility. This could become uncomfortable for them.
Especially with the majority of the squad now rotating in. facecrack trying to reposition because he took quite a bit of damage from the shots, but also from the Molotov, which, unfortunately, already using his smoke, he wasn't able to extinguish it. Now, one of his teammates has gone into the exact spot he was just in. This is a little bit worrying for the T side, but they've come out in a pretty good spot. Almazer, it should be expected, but he hasn't connected anything, and now it's left all onto that scout of xsepower. Every single player from here on out is low. So it would net a kill if he can find them, and although the chances of winning the round are slim to none, if he can at least make it costly, that would be nice.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to do too much at the end here. Ooh, he's not going to get the timing right on that player backing up. Oh, never mind. He does land the wall bang. Nice kill there. Nordavind making sure they get far away from the bomb because everyone's low on health. They will be fine. They'll all survive. And Hara had the Mach 10, so he was thinking about pushing, but xsepower will be able to save the AWP. I say it's not an AWP, it's a scout. Don't know why I said AWP. I'm so used to him having the AWP that I got confused. But it is the scout saved for xsepower. He'll get the chance to use it again. Couple of nades in there as well. Even if those nades don't get kills, as long as they do some damage, maybe they could set up xsepower for some success with the scout. Is that a P250 xsepower has in his back pocket?
Yes.
Because if it is, he probably should give that to a teammate. Oh well.
It would be interesting to see if someone went alongside him and he like shoots the scout and goes, oh, I tagged one, and then they throw a nade over the top, and then they like rotate out. It's just like a little barrage of grenades. Instead, they're just going to be the B-site defenders, so if anything goes towards Monster or Short, they'll have their grenades, and in after plant position on the A site, that could also work for them. Now, there is actually going to be some pressure. I like this as well, because facecrack is spotting. So basically, if he goes down, it doesn't really matter, because the whole point is he's just waiting for those nades, and they've done a hell of a lot of damage. They've made things very interesting indeed. NATO low, HS though, looking to fix things. It's only going to be almazer and what, that closer angle. Not really a chance. That's unfortunate. Not one of the lower players. But nonetheless, it's going to be a converted round for Nordavind. 11-7. As we are now going to get the proper investment up for forZe. We will see xsepower this time on his slightly more powerful sniper. And the rest of the CTs are going to be investing into the rifles and utility. Not a single kit. However, so if this comes down to an after-plant position, forZe are going to have to get their unbranded running shoes on. Insert your sponsor here.
Maybe they'll get their gaming shoes on. I've seen those.
Have you?
Yeah, I think I saw some
How can you have gaming shoes?
I don't know, man.
Unless it's like
they look like slippers
like
or
a
something.
simulator. If it's a racing simulator, then maybe gaming shoes make sense.
Sure.
But I'm pretty sure I've seen Lando Norris just play the F1 simulator in his socks. So
yeah, why not?
Yeah. So well, basically, I'm saying that unless there's something very impressive, I don't think they're going to change anything.
No.
For Counter-Strike, I have a funny feeling you're not going to need them.
I'm pretty sure I saw some company selling gaming socks or something, or shoes, or I don't know. Something that seemed weird.
Gaming socks.
Yeah, man, gaming socks.
They make your fingertips move slightly faster.
Somehow.
By stimulating through your feet.
Wow, are you really selling me here, Tom?
Flit. About to come under a lot of pressure. He spots them out, but peeks a little bit too wide. A nice off angle from Jerry, but down to just 6 HP. This will be a tough take. And in fact, the full rotation's going in. There will be a spotter in the form of almazer. Oh, it's awkward, but he gets away with the kill. Upgrades to an AK and calls his teammates back. And in fact, he's just going to hold on to some fairly valuable ground while in the back lines, although he actually peeks in. It gives the kill away. It seems like xsepower is just hitting everybody through the walls, though, as that's already his second kill of the round. And tenzki knows that even just damage here would be massively important for his side. 10 seconds left. He's just going to try and stick that bomb, or maybe not, as he again gets wall banged. And now we get 11-8 on the scoreboard. It is going to be the T's. Still investing into this one. Maybe a piece or two missing, but it will still be pretty good.
Yeah, Harry was the man who had a Galil. I assume he will be keeping that. The odds over on Unicorn remain in favor of forZe here for the series, but Nordavind are currently in the lead on their map choice. 3 rounds the difference between these two teams. xsepower going for a connector peek with the AWP. I don't mind this occasionally, and oh, it's going to work for him this time round. Cromen not ready for it, but it's trades over on the B side of the map that are also coming into play, because Nordavind look like they're going to commit to this. They look like they might just go for the B-sided aggression. facecrack gets one over at Monster. That's the bomb dropped, and Jerry is here to help. facecrack gets the assist on the kill, and tenzki snuck out, so at least we'll get one back. He knows where facecrack is, but he's got 3 more players, and he has no clue where xsepower is coming from. The AWP shot lands, and a very fast round win for forZe.
11-9, and unfortunately now the money's just not there for Nordavind anymore. It is great to see HS playing so well. 24-15. The man looking to match up to him on the other side is going to be Flit with 21 kills. But as said, it's been a brawl. Like, we've seen some real strong performances out of players that can have some inconsistencies, and it's definitely been enjoyable to watch. xsepower, he's been one of them. And now Flit, the chance to pad those stats a little bit further. It's a bit dicey. He's been dinked twice. I'm going to try and just play the angles, but he will eventually go down. However, xsepower just too quick on the trigger. He really doesn't need to face off against this, and Harry's actually just going to chuck the gun out of the map. I dig it. Don't allow it to be retrieved. Jerry's looking around to try and find that gun, but there is nothing to find. It's been absorbed by the bushes.
Always a good hiding spot, the bushes. Not that I'd know.
That sounds so creepy.
That's what I was going for, Tom. That's what I was going for.
Outside your house.
One round lead for Nordavind, but they've lost these last couple. This short play has been going Nordavind's way in general.
Oh,
not this time, though. The MP9 lines them up and knocks them down like dominoes. Nordavind out of the round already. 2 of their players are, at least. HS can hear this happening, but he doesn't want to pull the trigger yet. Gets the timing right and gets himself a kill, but the bomb has gone tumbling down, and wow, they're not ready for NaToSaphiX. Maybe he has a chance to win this in the 1v2.
Don't know if he'll expect anybody to be on the door. And Jerry almost just pre-firing towards the M. 4 kills for the IGL. He's having a much better map. Might just be the difference maker here. There's going to be the AWP going on to almazer initially, but he hands it over to xsepower. I do wonder if xsepower might go in the other direction for once. He's got a pretty good B spawn, but doesn't look likely considering his current stance facing towards long. But once again, Nordavind come up against some real resistance, as we are going to have the scoreline equalize. Now, this was where in the last map we saw the difference between the men and the boys, as forZe were able to sneak out these rounds. Now, something that Flit's got to be prepared for is the fact that Nordavind really enjoy going through the connector in these pistol rounds. It gives you a much closer angle on a lot of the players you'll face off against, and xsepower is prepared for it. There is a flash available, but they're actually not going to be utilizing it, and xsepower, again, just going to be padding the stats in this round. Flit picks off another, and will control the spray to leave it just tenzki alive. Got a long rotation back, a deagle with 38 HP, and even a kill here would be nice just to force a couple of rebuys.
It's about all he can hope for at this point. Yeah, nice awareness from forZe there to have xsepower watching top con. I was kind of scared when he went for that second wide peek. If there were two players on the angle, he might have been in trouble. But he lands the shot, so no harm, no foul. tenzki had the right idea, but didn't have the quickness that xsepower did. forZe get themselves into the lead. I really think the ability for forZe to grind out rounds on the T side and get so many early rounds on the T side might be what leads them to a position where they have the chance to win here on Overpass. Now that they're onto their CT side, it's looking much more comfortable for them. Just in general, if you're a team that doesn't play much Overpass, it's easier to play that CT side, I think. And we're seeing that for them right here. They're into the lead, and xsepower's going straight for this mid peak. He switched up his peak slightly. He's gone for some in connector. Now he goes for mid, but the flashbang will mean that he's unable to land a shot early on. forZe still looking for connector control, though. Flit's holding this position. xsepower's here to join him. So both of the star players for forZe playing together in tandem in connector. And they'll be able to hold on to this position for now.
Patient play for Nordavind this time, but it's going to be an awkward spot. Bit of a weird angle for an AWP. This is what I'm talking about, though. Like, xsepower will literally play the AWP from any position, and it does make me feel very uneasy. Now, luckily, he does have support. Actually, the smoke's going to go down, so clearly getting a little bit impatient, wanting to make a move. Harry waiting to see if anybody does make their way out of connector, but instead they're just going to fall back. And if anything, they've just wasted a hell of a lot of the T's time. The problem is they now have to start making their way back towards this B side, because there's only going to be two defenders, and there's plenty of T's setting up outside. facecrack looking to play on the edge of this, just has to spray. He's hoping to get something, and in fact, he gets to make that three. Almazer alongside him. So risky. Again, if you're going to make me feel uncomfortable, that's one hell of a way to do it. But he sprays down the majority of the side. And from the last few rounds, we are starting to see your stat become true as they are struggling on this T side.
Yeah, you can just see the money on forZe. Gives you an idea of how this turnaround has been going for them. facecrack putting down some punishment with the AK. And I think at this point, Nordavind are going to be a bit worried, it's fair to say. They've got pistols in this round, though. They'll be focused on trying to get this one to go their way. Oh, good shot from xsepower, though. And this is the problem when you move into forZe's A site. Flit and xsepower, both playing on A, is not going to be an easy defense to overcome. And we're already seeing that proven in the shots that are being landed. xsepower gets gifted the bomb. Flit gets one of his own. And this is not looking good for Nordavind. tenzki again, the last man alive. And Flit finds him. 29 kills now for Flit. He's having a superb performance here. And sometimes I worry about forZe's setup because they have both Flit and xsepower on A. So I feel like their B hold could be weak at times. But so far in this game, it's been fine for them. facecrack has been stepping up. Jerry's been having some good rounds as well. And now Nordavind are looking like they could be in trouble here on their map choice. 14-11 down. forZe just 2 rounds away from getting the 2-0.
Yeah, more importantly, getting a matchup versus Hard Legion to get back into that final match.
Oh my god.
This is a run and gun from Flit. He's got to be careful.
Have they not heard him?
Someone's already gone past.
Whoa.
This is interesting. That's risky from xsepower. He's got no friends this time, but it seems like he doesn't need them. Flit elsewhere did end up losing that battle versus NATO. An important one at that, as I believe he was the one carrying the bomb. So it could have definitely gone wrong. Nice entry from tenzki. Will make things interesting. And almazer completely blind. Again, NaToSaphiX with a great flashbang to set up his team. Jerry going to throw out some counter utility. And xsepower is still miles away from the action. Although, the fact is they can go for this. Sure, maybe giving away the AWP isn't ideal, but they have so much cash, I don't really see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I honestly think they might as well just have a go here at this point. Even if you just get a kill or two and don't win the round, it could make a difference to Nordavind's economy. Whereas I really struggle to see a world in which forZe end up running out of cash. unless they lose a bunch of rounds really convincingly. Especially xsepower, who's going to have 16k anyway. But I guess he's just going to spend that money on a teammate. They are just saving on the forZe side of things. I think this is where I'd like to see xsepower switch up his positioning slightly. I'd like to see him go over to that B side of the map. I feel like in general, Nordavind have been forced away from A in these rounds because they know flit and xsepower are playing on A. And just look at the kills. flit and xsepower are both having great games, so they know they can't really go over to the A site, and xsepower hasn't really switched up his spots so far. So this would be the perfect time, in my opinion, for him to maybe go for a monster peak, maybe just play from heaven on the B site. But it looks like forZe have not decided to make that call. They're sticking with their standard setup. They're still sticking with xsepower and flit on A, even though they lost B in the last one. And flit is going straight back to this aggression, even though it didn't work last time. Not quite as aggressive this time round, though.
Yeah, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Obviously that doesn't work so well if you die, but, you know, it's a video game. Still plenty of cash for forZe, but at this point, it comes down to rounds. They don't really care so much whether or not they're going to have so much cash into the next that they could buy twice. More so, they want to try and put these opponents down. That's exactly what flit has done. He's just hit his 30th kill. This deadly duo of flit and xsepower has been superb throughout this series. Do they have enough to close things out? Again, they're going to send the majority of their players onto this B site. I think it's the right call after the last round. It went a little bit wrong for them. Of course, facecrack's already taken a bit of damage, and the bomb's still down his spawn. flit is just killing it. Again, another kill for him, 130 ADR, and I think that's only going to go up as the rounds go by. He will eventually fall, though. An impactful trade from Harry, and with a player low, this definitely could make things interesting. facecrack has to be careful not to overface here. They still haven't got the bomb, by the way, and they've got 30 seconds left, so this is going to waste another 10, 15 seconds just to get the bomb into position, and they're not even going to be prepared going into this fight.
Yeah, the two close players only have flashes to rely on, but that flash is perfect for tenzki. 2 entries onto B is all they need to get that bomb down. They should be able to get it down safely from this point. Jerry has a molly, though. That might be an awkward factor, but it's not bounced correctly. It's not onto the bomb site, so they get that bomb down. And now Jerry and xsepower are in a similar position to the previous round. They've got a lot of money. The question is, do they want to go for this? And this time, Jerry is having a look, trying to find an angle. It's Harry who spots him, though. tenzki pops up for a kill, and xsepower's got 2 players to find with the AWP. tenzki not giving him a fight. Harry peeks from the other side, and we're back to a 14-13 scoreline, and Nordavind don't want to go for the AWP. They're happy with the AKs that have been working for them in these recent rounds. They still have to go up against these full buys, though. That's the scary thing. forZe still have loads of money for this round. They're still going to have money for the next one. And you can see that reflected in the odds. Unicorn definitely confident that forZe can close this one out, but it is getting close now.
Yeah, I think those will drop significantly if this goes to a third map, so if you're a believer, might be one worth taking. Of course, make sure to always gamble responsibly.
Here's the switch up. xsepower has gone to B with the AWP now. That's something that I was calling for previously. They naded out the door on the Nordavind side of things there. I don't know if they wanted to do that, but they're going to get up connector safely anyway. And flit, who's been having a fantastic game, is here to try and stop them.
Just watching the edge of the smoke, but they've already gone pushing. A risky peek will give Jerry information at least. This could be perfect for flit. He's going to be coming in on the flank. Is there going to be anyone to stop him? That's the real thing, because there is a player behind, but Nato, actually it is Nato, the man behind, who gets that kill. There's no turnaround in this regard. Jerry has to be careful. He's getting blinded out of there. tenzki's also caught the rotation as well, and Jerry's got a mammoth task, but they're actually going to make the choice to rotate. This is a good decision by the looks of things, as there's already going to be a player making his way onto the site. It's tenzki who just got them that opener. Now, almazer is here, and he's going to manage to get past that angle. This could be perfect if he denies the presence onto the site. That's the bomb down, looks for a second, dinks the player, but it isn't going to be the kill. The bomb is going to be planted. There's not much they can do to deny it. There is a player pushing in through short. Now, this the best opportunity they've had, but what a shot from tenzki. And now Jerry left in a 1 versus 2. Already got a kill to his name. He needs to end it with 3, and HS is going to be holding that cross angle. Not quite going to connect, though, and that gives that little bit of extra pressure all into this 1 versus 1. All he needs is a tag, but in fact, he's just going to try and bait him in with the flashbang. HS, there's nothing he can do. He's just going to wait for this one. Needs the kill, and he doesn't know where he is. Jerry might have just thrown this one away. If he stuck it, he won, and he gets the final kill, but I don't think there's enough time. He will go down with the ship, and that is going to be 14-14.
Oh, you can feel just how tense these rounds are for both these players. Jerry there just hoping, praying, desperately looking for that opponent at the end. And credit to HS for just sticking in the water and just staying alive even longer by repositioning there. He did a great job at just staying alive, realizing that forZe were unlikely to try and stick that bomb with so much on the line. And now we're going the distance. 14-14, we are all tied up. Nordavind's comeback is coming through for them, and they're switching it up. They're going for a fast B play. Facecrack's here on the bomb site itself. Here come the flashes for Nordavind, but look at the nade damage. They're all so low on the Nordavind side. facecrack set up for a couple of easy kills. Jerry with one of his own, and tenzki and NaToSaphiX, well, just tenzki now has to save the day. Good shots onto Jerry, but he's not able to get the kill. Molotov goes down. There are 4 players against him, and tenzki won't be fighting his way out of this one. It's forZe who have themselves one chance to try and close out this series. And look at the money for Nordavind.
That was such a bold call, especially because they missed a smoke, I'm certain, because I think 3 players took about 80 damage from 1 Molotov. Which, I mean, like 80 each. That's why they were so low. They all ran through the same molly. They were committed to the fight. So it's definitely gone wrong. Jerry seemed to have had a secondary AWP in this scenario, so that might just be something that was left towards the spawn. We're going to see the double incendiaries thrown out as well to try and deny them any early presence. This is definitely the best opportunity forZe are going to have to close out this game. It would be a pretty brutal way to lose it after what was a decent comeback in the end for Nordavind, but I guess we could say the same in both maps. Just not quite being able to get it over the line. We'll see, though. They don't have much utility. In fact, 1 flash and a couple of smokes is all that remain. Flit trying to get aggressive, but in fact, he's just waiting on the edge of this smoke. He's got to be careful because nobody's actually gone through just yet. And timing's going to be absolutely everything for him here. Hasn't heard any footsteps, and will just go falling all the way back, knowing that he has the support of xsepower to hold onto that cross. This duo has been heavily impactful, 60 kills between them. But once again, we're going to see this rotation back towards the B site. It has been the bread and butter for Nordavind, but this time with no flashbangs, it's going to be very difficult to find a way into the site. Utility has also been used as well for the majority, and facecrack having some doubts of when to use this smoke might actually be his undoing. It's going to be a TK though. That's definitely not what you want in potentially the last round, the last in regulation at least. xsepower doesn't connect this shot, and they're still waiting for these rotations. The bomb, however, is dropped, and they need to retrieve this. A spray from cromen at least gets 1, but the trades are coming back. 5 HP is all he has, and it will be the 2-0. It's going to be the side of forZe to take this over the line. 2 very close maps, and it has to be said, commiserations to Nordavind. Like, they easily could have taken either of those maps over the line. Unfortunately, it just seemed when it came to the clutch situations, the clutch players, a lot of the time, it was forZe coming out on top.
Yeah, I think especially rough there on Overpass because both of those 4 star players had such good games. xsepower had to drop over 30. Flit was right up there with him, I think. I think it was Flit who dropped over 30,
yeah,
so
I think,
the other way around.
I think xsepower got 28 or 29.
Yeah, just having both those players show up for forZe is really rough to go up against. And you could see some uncomfortable moments for forZe, especially on this T side. But they just about did enough. They got 7 rounds on the board. It really felt like they had to grind out this win on the forZe side of things, but they did so successfully. I mean, you think back to how many close rounds they had on the T side, even with the time running down, with almazer having to get those kills in that previous one. There were a lot of rounds that could have gone differently, but forZe did enough to get this victory over the line. And forZe definitely looking better as a individuals, I think, which is important to see because we know that this team has the skill to be able to beat some of these opponents. And we were even saying earlier, it was great to see some of the Nordavind players showing up. Quite a few of them were playing well. HS was having a great time of things. NaToSaphiX had a really good start here. So for forZe to get this win, I think is pretty impressive because Nordavind didn't have a weak game. They actually played pretty well across the board.
No, and I think it really... this is one of those matches where I enjoyed watching it. Like, in a sense of, like, both teams played well. I don't think there was really a player that I wanted to harp on and say, oh, he was awful, or he was bad, or, like, this is the reason they lost. It was actually just a very good match to watch, an enjoyable one at that. And, yeah, as you said, like, the stars were aligning. We had some great performances across both maps from both teams, and we got the players we wanted to see, the exciting players, the risk takers, who managed to do a lot of the damage. So, yeah, a great match. Unfortunately, there always has to be a loser in that regard, and unfortunately, in this case, it was Nordavind. But now we get to see forZe going on in this tournament, and I'll be honest, they're a team that could use a win. Like, after not doing well, or not even getting to the Clutch Island RMR event, after not getting to Pro League, like, they're a team that, although in comparison, I'm sure they would have taken the other 2 victories over this one. It's still something, especially to keep them within this organization, because there's definitely evidence to prove that they can be like a top 20 team. They can be a team that fights. They can be a team that challenges in tournaments. It's just we haven't quite seen it in a while.
Yeah, and I've got to give even more props again to xsepower. 24 AWP kills, so you see how important the AWP was for him. But it was another game where I think it said he had 9 entry kills on this one.
Yeah.
So back on the first map, 8 entry kills. This one, 9 entry kills. This is the kind of AWPing I really enjoy seeing, where your AWP is getting you into rounds early. Yeah, that's the main thing. And it's not like NaToSaphiX was playing badly either. He had a bunch of rounds where he had impact, mainly in that first half. But I think xsepower just in general got the better of it. And here are the results from today's matches, in case you missed them. That second one there is the one you just saw. forZe taking it 2-0, but 2 incredibly close maps.
Yeah, and well, surprised that HAVU, for anybody who didn't watch earlier, actually got eliminated from the tournament. So this, of course, our upper bracket match, which I believe will be happening tomorrow. So that will be Nemiga facing off against Sprout, which should be a banger of a game. Both teams looking in form. I've been very impressed with what I've been seeing from Nemiga recently. And also Denis. Like, Denis on Sprout has been really, really good, which I think is promising for their side as a whole. I think that is going to be a really good match. And then, of course, our lower bracket match, which will be an elimination match between 2 CIS squads who are probably very familiar with each other. forZe facing off against Hard Legion, and of course that will leave us some very interesting matches across the board. So I think that's going to be a good game. I want to see xsepower facing off against Rage. Also, hopefully we can get Forrester back. That would be nice. I'm not sure if he is going to be playing tomorrow, but the fact they've made it this far with a stand-in is definitely impressive, even having a 2 stand-ins for a couple of the matches. But there you go. There's the games. Of course, flip it around. It is going to be the 1 p.m. CEST start. And then, of course, the 5 p.m. Well, following straight on, pretty much, from that one. There we go. There we go. So they flipped it. That's just, they heard me. But, yeah, I think those are some very interesting matches. Actually, to see this many CIS squads still in, I think sort of shows the rise of CIS Counter-Strike, because they're obviously within the top. You've only really got, you've got Na'Vi, you've got Spirit fighting to get there. But there's definitely a few, like, Tier 2, Tier 3 teams that are getting ever closer to being within that top 20 spot, and that's what we want to see from the CIS, because there's so much talent in this region. Either way, it's getting late, Alex. I'm going to ask you again, any final words?
I'm just excited to see what forZe can do, because I want to see them bouncing back. I want to see them proving they are still one of the best CIS teams, and they're doing that here. They're beating some of their opponents, which is great to see.
Okay, well, there you go. There's the final thoughts for tonight. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. We will be back tomorrow to see who's going to be getting into our finals. See you then.